as I was watching the trading psychology video by Mark Douglas, I realized how much it has impacted me personally. Trading psychology is one of the most important things that a trader can improve in. And as much as we know, we need to continue to improve in this area. So every single time we face an obstacle, we don't go the opposite way that our trading plan tells us to. Okay, so I'm going to help you in this video improve your trading psychology to make sure that you are on your way to success. Now, how many times do you feel every single time you lose that you feel like you have to get your profits back? How many times do you feel like every time you get stopped out, you're taking another trade and another trade, which leads to overtrading, right? How many times do you get into a position where the market is going your way, you're gaining some profits, but you're telling yourself, take the profits, but you're not taking any particular partials or any profits, only to come to find out that the market turns on you and stops you out? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all a part of your trading psychology. And I do believe that as human beings, of course, we tend to go against what we know what is right. Okay, so in this market, if you don't have a trading plan, I'm going to say it again, if you do not have a trading plan, you are going to get banged up in these markets. Okay, so number one, you need a trading plan. Okay, you need to make rules for yourself that's going to help you develop your skill set and making sure that you do not lose more than you're willing to lose. Okay, and you need to understand this, that when you do lose, it's not just a loss, it's a lesson. Okay, this lesson is to improve you as a trader. So don't sit here and try to take many different other positions just because you lost profit. You're trying to get it all back. Ladies and gentlemen, we call that revenge trading. Okay, when it comes to trading in these markets, yes, you need to understand how the markets move. You need to understand how technicals work. You need to sometimes even understand how fundamentals work. But there's one thing that never changes, and there's one thing that you have to stick to, and the formula that you must have is a trading plan. Okay? Now, second, you need to be disciplined. Anytime you lose, or maybe there's not no setup, you have to be disciplined enough to be patient and to wait. Okay? If you're not disciplined, what tends to happen is you're going to break certain rules, and then you're going to put yourself in a position that you never wanted to be in to begin with. So many traders are losing so much more money than they have to because they are abandoning their assignment. Okay, guys, as traders, we need to be disciplined. We need to know when to trade, and we need to know when not to trade. We need to know when a loss is a loss and when to stop. Because if you do not stop and you do not accept the loss, your lesson is going to be harder than it has to be. Okay. Your risk management parameters is so important. How many times do you say to yourself, if I could have, should have, would have done this and did that, I wouldn't have had lost this much, or I would have made this much, right? A lot of times we don't decide our risk before we look to our reward, right? When it comes to the risk factor, your risk should always be pretty small. So when you profit, they will cover up most of your losses, right? I believe some people are over leveraging and over risking because they want more money. But at the same time, they are only doing these things because greed is coming into the picture. Now, some traders, yes, they want to level up. Some traders definitely want to make more money, and they have the capital to, go a little bit more higher because they are disciplined, right? But for people who are losing money, for people who are struggling with trading, you shouldn't be over risking, because what tends to happen is not only are you risking yourself to blow your account, but you're putting yourself in a position where you're not understanding when a loss is a loss, right? Or you're not understanding when you do lose, you're looking at this loss as, wow, this is way more than I wanted to lose, right? It affects your psychology for many different reasons. And the reason why I say that is many people will begin to feel like a failure. Many people will then again be like, oh man, maybe I'm not cut out for trading. It's not that. It's just literally the little things that we are doing are affecting us as traders. So you definitely need to have a proper risk management. If you don't have a proper risk management, if you don't have a system at all, you're bound to get beat up in these markets. They are going to take your money left and right. And do you like to lose? Do you like to keep giving away your profits? No, absolutely not. I don't think so. I think it's just really important that we understand these are crucial foundations and boundaries we need to set for ourselves. Now, I want to go ahead and jump to the markets, okay? I'm going to give you a couple of examples that might help you understand when you should take a trade and when you should not take a trade, right? So when the market is trendy, is pretty volatile, you have news events coming out, and you see that your setup is very clear, right? And the setup comes in your favor. The market retraces to your setup, but for some reason you don't want to get in. And then you see that the market takes off without you. And then all of a sudden you decide to get in later. And then now the market turns on you and stops you out. The reason why most traders are doing this is because not only they don't have confidence, but they don't trust their own setup. You also need to learn how to trust what you are doing is going to work out for you. You have to put in the work. You have to practice your setup. If you don't know how to practice your setup, just go on TradingView, backtest your setup. If you don't have replay mode, you don't need it. But if you do have replay mode, act like you're actually trading in real time and practice the actual trading, trading strategy that you have to make sure that you know what you're looking for in the future. A lot of traders are doing this because they are afraid of being stopped out. They're afraid of losing money. Anytime you are investing, guys, losing money is a part of the process. You must understand that when you are in the trade, only be willing to lose what you are willing to lose. Okay? Don't lose more than what you're willing to lose. All right? And FOMO has taken over so many traders because they don't want to miss out on a move. Okay? Plus, they're getting in at a price that is so expensive that when it does pull back on them, you have a certain drawdown that you begin to experience, right? So how many of you traders know that everything that I just said is actually lining up, right? So many traders are definitely hung up on a fact, thinking that if I skip all these steps, I'm going to be a successful trader. No, you have to have a trading plan. You have to make sure you're not over leveraging. You have to have risk management. You also have to have a system, okay, and how the markets are working in your favor, okay? So don't think that you could just come into this game and think that you could just trade however you want to. You have to have a system. If you want to improve your mindset, you have to improve your system, all right? Because that's what you're going to stick with. That's your bread and butter. That's the law for you. If you don't stick with the law and you break the law, you're going to pay for the consequences. All right. So FOMO is definitely another one that we definitely are unaware of. Like, we are aware of it, but we're not so much aware of it because in the moment we think that, oh, the market's going our way, I'm just going to hop in a trade. It doesn't work like that. Okay. And you can, but if you don't have a strategy, how are you going to become profitable? All right. We as traders need to understand that this is a patient game. It's a waiting game. You get paid to wait. And when you get paid to wait, it's one of the best rewards that you can ever receive. Okay. Now, another thing is, don't feel like because you have lost a trade that is the last thing in the world. Okay. Or it's the final thing in the world. We have to understand when the market flows the way it flows for a reason. We're playing their game, okay? When bank institutions want to trade, They're in the trade for specific reasons. If we're in the way and we get stopped out, you have to understand that that's part of the game. Okay? It's up to you if you want to follow your trading plan. It's up to you if you want to follow your skill set. Because without these things, you're going to be in a place of, I'm going to be honest, you're going to be in a place of turmoil. All right? And how many times do you keep doing the same things over and over again, knowing that if you did not do those same things, you would be successful right now. You'll be making profits. You'll be actually seeing yourself scale up. You'll be seeing your account blow up, right? If you do what you know is right, trust and believe, you're going to be successful in forex, or you're going to be successful as a stock trader, or you're going to be successful in crypto. All right. So this trading psychology video is to help you improve in your psychology. All right. The last thing I want to mention is you have to come to the market fresh. You have to come to the market rested. Don't try to wake up for a session that you know that you're not going to trade. If you're halfway sleepy, don't trade. You need complete focus. Okay. I know some traders who have definitely done that. Lost sleep, won some money, but eventually started losing, and then they started, it started declining in their resting, because they were so hungry for it that they felt like that they had to sacrifice sleep for this, but not necessarily realizing that that also affects your mindset. When you're tired and you're sleeping, you can't focus, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make bad habits. So you have to weed out the bad habits. Okay. You have to weed out the bad habits. You have to create a system. You have to create a formula, and you have to make sure that you stick to that formula. Okay. No matter what, it's a non-negotiable. That is your non-negotiable. Okay. So you must stick to the trading plan. All right. When the markets are moving with order flow, you have to flow with the markets. Okay. Do not go against the markets. You going against the markets is setting yourself up for failure. Okay. It's not a high win rate when it comes to going against the markets. All right. You need to be in favor with the markets by sticking to your trading plan. And this is the reason why 90% of traders are losing, because they are not sticking to their plan. All right. When it comes to sticking to your plan, it's so important. Oh my gosh, man. It is so important to stick to your plan. Because 9 times out of 10, when you're not sticking to your plan, you're failing at your plan. All right. And we want you to become successful in the plan. And another thing too is, when you are trading, know where your limits are. Put boundaries in place. Put your take profit in place. Put your stop loss in place. Know when you lose. Know when not to get back in the market if you lose. Take the L as a learning lesson and just move on. Because I'm telling you, how many times do you see sports players, NBA players, NFL players, baseball players? They fail so many times and make so many mistakes, but they keep doing the same thing over and over again, and they become great at what they do. This is how they become great, is they continue to do the same things over and over again. The good things, right? They're sticking to a plan. But for people who aren't sticking to a plan, for people who are dodging their plan, for people who aren't patient, for people who are leveraging, over risking, revenge trading, being greedy, you will never make it to where you want to make it. And that's a fact. Okay. You might get lucky a couple times, but you won't be consistently profitable. All right. So if you want to be consistently profitable, you need to have that in mind. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this video was definitely helpful. I'm definitely going to let you know that if you really, really need any help, all right, I got a free Discord in my description, and I'll definitely answer any questions that you have. Have a blessed day.